Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Sun Up on 7. Thank you so much for tuning in, for your viewership, and for engaging in everything we have planned for you today. It's time for our final conversation. It keeps on getting exciting. We're talking about STEAM, and we're going to define what STEAM is in a few. And to talk to us about that, we have a representative from the Belize High School. Let me introduce our guest, Ms. Jamie Osher, the principal. Jamie, good morning. How are you feeling?
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for saving us for last. But
Yes.
we're excited to be here.
Thank you. We also have Miss Emily Torres. Hi, Miss Emily. How are you
Good
doing?
morning. I'm doing well. Great to
Good.
be here.
Thank you for being here with us. And let's introduce our students. Mr. Noah Beaumont, senior at BHS.
Yes.
Good morning, Noah. How are you?
Really good. I'm really excited to be here.
I love the
first
energy.
time.
I love the energy.
I love his chin.
I love his chin.
So cute.
Right. We also have Jalen Crawford, junior at BHS. Good morning, Jalen. How are you? I'm good. Awesome. We love to have you all here to talk about this expo that's upcoming, and of course, talk about STEAM. A lot of people might not be aware what STEAM is, so let's get into the conversation.
I'm gonna make
right?
Miss Jamie do that one for us because she was so excited. Because I said STEM before the commercial break, and I love that I was corrected because I love the reason I was corrected. So it's STEAM.
Yes.
Can you please define STEAM for us?
Okay, so STEAM is an acronym and it stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Art, and Math. And what I love about STEAM is that it has changed the educational experience. So STEM definitely ramped it up. However, during the pandemic days, the artistic souls were really hampered in terms of their ability to interact.
Yes.
And so when we came back in in-person classes, we really took the opportunity to be with one another. And that's when we really decided to make sure that our projects and our learning activities really showcase the fact that we are all a little bit social. So whether we like to be by ourselves or we like to be in a crowd, that's an important part of experience. And experience is when we learn the most.
Definitely.
Yes. And so if I could just add, the guy from the Department of Environment did a really great job. Very nice segment. But what I loved about it is that even in that element, STEAM is coming out because when we had our robotics team, right before we went to Dubai, we took them snorkeling. And part of that was to make sure that people are engaging with what you're asking them to engage in. So a call to action only makes sense if you're able to come back and say, this is why you have to be careful with your garbage. This is why you have to not use a plastic bottle. When you can remember yourself going through and seeing the pretty coral, and if you're lucky, you see a stingray or a manatee even.
Alicia.
But you definitely never come back and say, wow, I love seeing that plastic bottle or that plastic bag was really, musical
The way
in
how
the
that
water.
flowing at the water.
There you go.
Best
So-
plastic bag ever.
So that's where you want to make sure that our students are getting out. And so I like that the push of activities includes getting out. And so to have my students here to talk about outdoorcation, that's what we're trying to push, an outdoor education. So it's not vacation, it's education outside, outdoorcation.
Outdoorcation.
We got all these new words, which it's so fancy.
Look at BHS being all fancy. I love it.
So we're
Emily,
having this
yeah.
expo.
So let's talk about the expo.
So, in essence, what we want to encompass for this expo is, you get all excited when you're thinking about a vacation. And adding to what Miss Jamie mentioned with STEAM, in essence, what you want to know, STEAM for kids, is that it's an educational framework that brings reality into the classroom. So you won't really know what's happening out there if you don't get outside. So that's why we have these different activities for our students to do to bring everything together. And STEAM connects all these subjects in a way that they can relate to one another. And that's basically what we will be showcasing at our expo.
So what can people look forward to exactly? Because we hear that at the outdoor, we hear that the students are be kind of leading this trip, but what exactly? So Noah, tell us a little bit. You are a senior student. Tell me what happened.
Inspiration.
Ooh, okay.
So a lot of creative people, whether you're creative in your business, whether it's your homework, whether it's your job, whatever it is, if you go to the BHS Outdoorcation, you're going to get inspired. It's partly because the students, the juniors, the sophomores have created online menus. So when you go to the Mexican-themed restaurants that the business majors are having, you get to see the work that these students have done. And you're going to get inspired, like, wow, these 15-year-olds made this. We can do something better, or we can do something like that here in Belize. So what we're trying to get across is that Belizeans can create a lot of things, and you can get inspired by your peers by other people in Belize.
Oh, I love that. Oh man, I don't get excited. I get all over. And then
Yeah.
I like
Jamie,
the fact.
Jamie looks excited too.
So yes, Jamie, tell us a little bit about you. What you guys are gonna be doing?
So at BHS, we have four main majors: science, IT, business, and humanities. So our school is very small, but that makes it kind of easier for us all to work together, and that's what the expo will showcase. I'm a business student, Noah's humanities, but we are working together to showcase the importance of journalism, and also IT is working with business to create our menus. It's from scratch, a new code to build kind of like a app for that day. And it just shows how while everyone is different and has their own talents and gifts, we can all come together and create something bigger and better in unison.
I heard you're a very seasoned businesswoman too as well. So is there anything you're specifically looking forward to for this outdoor occasion? I just need to use that word.
Love it. Yes, it's so fancy.
The action, it gets me excited being there in the crowd, serving and making stuff, which is why I did enjoy my first expo. But this expo is different because I'm working with my business majors, and we're going to work together with new people. So it's going to be a fun experience to see how that works out and to meet new people. So that's why we really encourage others to come and experience it, see what excites you and inspires you to try something new and create something better for our community.
I like it. Yeah.
If I may add on to
By all
that,
means, go ahead.
this is why we want to highlight the positive impact that differences can make, because I'm a humanities major, and so I'm very creative, but she can provide a very grounded framework to the ideas that I want to have. So at the BHS Outdoorcation, I may be setting up the exterior of it. I may be providing the architecture, the framework, and she can say, well, actually, people are gonna come through this entrance. That wouldn't be the best way. It wouldn't provide the best flow. We're supposed to be buying over here. The cashier is supposed to be over here, so maybe let's put that over here. So different minds can come together and create something even better.
Yeah, I love that you're highlighting the way how the different majors, for instance, you're talking about integrates with STEAM. So I want to ask you, Noah, if for our other students, for our other schools that are tuned in to this segment, what values do you get about having STEAM in place in schools, other than the integration that we get between students? What does it do?
I would say number one is a sense of belonging. You feel like what I do and what I create has a sense of value in the school and in the country I have. I can be put to a standard like I am the science part of STEAM, so I have a community, I have a family, we're all scientists here. We can work with the engineering part, we can work with the artists, we can work with the mathematicians, and we can all create something together. So I would say a sense of value of belonging with other people is very important.
And just to highlight from the teacher perspective, that's an important part of this innovation in education. Because especially coming off of 2 years working with distance learning and very fragmented communication, having the students appreciate how they need to stay competitive despite having all of these interventions that were beyond of their control. And so part of the not getting left behind means that you have to try and forge through. So a lot of what we allowed for our students to do was to not get left behind by saying, you know what, if we can't do it in person, we do it virtual.
Yeah.
And when we have to do it virtual, then we move to hybrid. And when we move from hybrid, then we're coming to face. And so that has taught us lots of little lessons in terms of how we have to adjust. We can't teach the way we were taught. We can't even teach the way our parents think they were teaching us. We have to meet the kids where they're at, but with the value of the experiences of knowing that everything that we've learned along the way played some role. Now is to look at the intention and the purpose and say, why am I teaching this way? Why am I teaching that? Because the first thing these kids will ask is why. And you can't get away, but we can't get away anymore with because I said so.
Right.
Or the worst,
Yeah.
because it's always been done. And so we really champion that after 12 years, only 12 years, we're only 12 years old, we're not even a teenager yet. BHS has really kept pushing the barrier in terms of knowing the whys, understanding the whys, and figuring out why the why is so important. because these kids won't get to a day. When he graduates on June 11th, there won't be a switch that flips and says, okay, now you're an adult. The impact can start from the first day of high school. It can start in primary school. But that moment of understanding that I have a responsibility in a small community like BHS, or even in a small country like Belize, that moment is truly the powerful moment that keeps us teaching. Because they'll say, I have to do it because I can't expect anybody else to do it. So I have to keep my Belize trash free. I have to keep my Belize respecting women. I have to keep my Belize expecting that wherever I go, people will appreciate that I might be different, but that I still have value. That's the little Belize that we want.
I like
the,
that.
the good morning and the good afternoon and the clean roads and the fact that if you say something, you won't be penalized or victimized. That's the Belize we want. So within education, that's where we feel like we have the most chance to shape that kind of Belize.
Yeah.
So I want respectful students. I want students that appreciate that there's a uniform and there's a reason. So they might say, well, oh, you're so open-minded. Why don't you just let them wear casual? But we know the intent and the purpose of a uniform. And we've been able to explain that, and that's why they can work with the uniform. We know the intent and the purpose of a certain type of STEAM project, and that's why we can push it, and they appreciate that there is no bell in life that says, Renata, from 8 to 9, you're doing English, okay? And then from 9 to 10, you're doing math. In real life, you'll get one piece of paper here and you'll have to talk
everything.
about statistics, you'll have to talk about science, you'll have to talk about impact in the environment, you'll have to talk about impact in the community. That's how it happens.
Yeah.
So just like in those who work in media, cameras and all of that, they've had an evolution. So it started with film, and then now it's digital, and you could have only saved 60 images on a camera and you paid $5,000. And now we're all walking around with these devices that can save thousands of photos and instantly shared worldwide.
Airdrop.
That's just it. And from wherever you are in the world. And so that's the beauty of seeing these students really taking them, whether it's virtual or in person, taking them to different parts of the globe, getting ideas and coming back and say, Belize can do that. And if I could make a pitch to City Council, because I understand that the bridge is going to be up for relocation, Swing Bridge. We went to Xotomil in Mexico City. It's the floating gardens. And they have, it's just a little creek, just like what
Also
we have
beautiful.
there. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just little boats, and they have these little plant shops, and they have the elotes coming on the canoes. And my students were there, and they're like, Miss, we could do this in Belize, you know, our water cleaner, our people could paddle little canoes. And so I just want to make a pitch that just moving the bridge a little bit up and turning it pedestrian could really allow right there for a little tourist area to be where you get on these little boats and you just paddle through, and it's good fun. So I had to share that my students wanted to bring that idea. So that's
Something
the inspiration.
Awesome.
But I'll let them talk now.
All right. So let's get into the details of the event that's happening. So the expo. So we already know the date. But can you give us more details? Timing? Is there going to be any fee? How can people participate?
What do you need to bring when you come?
Yeah.
Bring a mask and bring a proof of vaccination.
Okay.
There is going to be no entrance fee, so it's totally free to come because we want a lot of people to come and be inspired. As for the timing, it's from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Yes, 9 a.m. to noon. Yes.
Okay.
And I think also, along with your mask and your vaccination card to keep you safe, come with an open mind to experience and learn, and maybe even, spark and light that fire inside you to say, okay, I'm going to use this, I'm going to create something, or I'm going to speak to people and see what I can do. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's at school.
Yes.
Just double checking, right?
Yes.
It's like, I don't-
Rain or shine.
Rain or shine. Bring your umbrella up.
We have plan B if it rains, but rain or shine.
We
Definitely.
have to stay on our
Teacher
toes.
Torres, do you have
And in
anything
addition to that, you
Yes.
could also come on an empty stomach, because I'll just throw it in there. We'll be having culture kitchen and many, many
It speaks
delicacies.
to Renata.
Delicacies, free samples. You will love it.
Ooh. And
I can guarantee.
I don't know what's hinting that, there's like this restaurant, a Mexican app. Is that, were you like, that's an example, or is that actually happening?
Well, that's a hint, a sneak peek of what's to come. So we're
okay.
giving you a little taste just to get you all excited,
Well, I
and then you
listen,
can
Kevin.
come.
I am listening too.
So I'm super, super excited. As we're wrapping up this segment, can you for people out there that are wondering, why do I really need to come besides just getting inspired? Or so maybe they're thinking, I have enough inspiration. What else is like a driving point of why they really do need to come out for STEAM Expo? Because it's not STEM, STEAM Expo. I'm going to give it to Noah and also for Jalen to be able to, like, since you're the young people, you're the one that with all the ideas and all the juices and everything. Not that you guys are juiceless out there, but just making our young people get that platform. So
If you think about the COVID-19 pandemic and how many of us have had to learn online inside, how much information we consume daily
Yeah.
through our phones, through our computers. And if you think about the ratio of how much we consume and how much we put out there, all the ideas, what we see on Pinterest, what we see on Instagram, YouTube. But if you really go to BHS, you see that people have taken these ideas and made them into something. So they're not just thoughtless ideas floating around in the cloud or on the hub or on the Instagram or whatever. They're out there. People have done something. They've created something. They've turned it into a machine, a robot, a kaleidoscope,
that's not easy.
a restaurant.
Yeah.
It's been weeks and weeks of planning and just a lot of energy put into this. So we would really like it if everyone came.
And I think also you can never be too inspired because while you may have one thing that you're doing, there you can do more than one thing. And I think at BHS too, we're not limited. I'm a business student, but I've also participated in robotics competitions, and I haven't limited myself. So I think also I'd encourage you not to limit yourself because we aren't here to just do one thing. Experience different things. You don't have to choose one. You know, do more, learn more, and see what comes out of
I
that.
love it. Man, that definitely sells it.
And it's exposure, you know?
Yeah,
It's honestly
really good
exposure.
exposure.
Seeing hardworking students, like, but also teachers, not forgetting you out there, Miss Emily, but just hardworking students and teachers come together to provide something, a space where you can be able to be inspired to learn more things and think of a way, another way we can do it, a better way, or another way, just something to allow you to
The
say
adaptability and the relevance of it. Like,
exactly. So.
Yeah.
For all you know, this is the first time you see something like that and be like, I didn't even know that was possible. Yes,
Exactly.
honey bun, it is. We're doing it. You can do it too.
Yeah.
Well, if I could just say also our COVID protocols had to be enforced when we reopened. And so a lot of our parents really have to stop at the gate. And so this is our real first experience to have parents on campus again. And so that's for us especially exciting because some students started online. And so we're literally just meeting them the past couple
Wow.
months. And
Okay.
so the families are even more new. And so we're excited to get to put faces to email names and interact a little differently and in the safety of the outdoors. And we do want to remind the public to please continue to wash your hands, wear your mask, and yes, get vaccinated because COVID is still lingering among us.
Yeah.
And
It's
we
hanging out on the
can't
block.
we can't take it for granted that the nurses aren't going to be right back in that mode. And I, for one, appreciate that we've made it this far, but we just have a little further to go. So that's why we're asking for the mask and the vaccination
Okay.
because we can't take too much for granted.
All right. Thank you for that note.
Definitely
Ren, I'm getting informed that we're wrapping up the segment now, the entire show.
Okay.
We run over time. So our guests are wrapping up the show with us today.
So they
So I
have a
want to
chance.
congratulate you on your graduation and
Thank you.
congratulations to
Thank
the
you.
Yes,
whole
June 11th,
graduating
right?
class of 2022.
Woo!
All the best in your future endeavors and to the other students. Jamie, so what we're doing at Sun Up on 7, I don't know if you've been informed, but we're doing a series of highlighting the schools
Been
and their
informed, no
students. So it's an invitation for you to return with your students and let's highlight their achievement.
Thank you. We
And
will.
let's celebrate them, okay?
Thank
Brett?
you.
Definitely.
Thank
I
you.
just wanted to really do a quick thing because Miss Jamie just made my whole mind blow in the idea of saying for young people, like kids too as well. I think this is a perfect opportunity for parents to take out their children, like young children, because I feel like seeing all of these different inventions and seeing young people, that's gonna spark their overall enthusiasm and interest and curiosity.
Definitely.
So don't think that they're too young or so. Bring them at ages 4, all them. That's gonna be like, oh, mommy, what's that? And I'm sure you guys are gonna be able to explain to them.
Yes.
But I think that's gonna be very exciting too as well. So there's no school on Friday, so you do not have an excuse. It's Friday. It's Thursday. It's Friday. Thursday. But they can be able to make it out. So by all means. And so what we do here for a wrap up, we normally try to give something inspirational out to people, especially since it's a Monday. And so for me, as always, guys, it's never always a bad day. Sometimes we have bad moments in a day. We don't have to just feed on all of that. Let's look at the positivity in the day. It's a good day. There's something that you can always be thankful for. So let's look at that, especially for our Monday. It's the last Monday in May. Let's be thankful for that. We're getting through the year and there's a lot to look forward to. We have expos and walks and all that stuff. So come on now. Be happy.
And happy 18th birthday to my son. Today is his birthday.
What's his name?
Anthony.
You have to get the full name. You
Yeah.
can't half it. Should be sending a picture and
Anthony
everything.
Usher. No. I can't embarrass him anymore.
Right. So any last words? Any inspirational words for our
Well,
viewers?
thank you for allowing us to share. Again, as our motto says, learners today, leaders tomorrow. We want to just make sure that we are pushing what Belizean students have been capable of all along. And we've been proud that we've been the school to really put us on the map for Belize in education. So we're excited to always collaborate with schools, and the inspiration to have other schools do the same for their students is why we participate in these things. So we're excited for that. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Awesome.
you.
Right. So as a wrap up, I just want to say thank you so much for making Sun Up on 7 your start of the day, your start of the week. It's the rain. The rain is here. So let's make the best of it. I know maybe it did not go with your plans, but we're here. So let's make the best of the moment. Stay prepared. We're wrapping up May. So that means hurricane awareness season begins. So do your best to stay prepared for the season that's upcoming. And we wish you all the best today. It's a great Monday. You got this. You got this. Remind
Got
yourself.
this, boo-boo.
So we love you. We'll see you tomorrow at 6:30. Guess who's back tomorrow?
Brandon's back.
Brandon's
He's
back.
Back
Back
again.
again.
So it's gonna be exciting, guys, because
Yes.
I haven't seen Brandon in a while. So I just want to say I don't know what's gonna be coming for tomorrow's
I love
episode,
it. I love that
but
we're
it's
having
gonna be
Brandon
super
back.
exciting. I know.
Yes.
So he's gonna be dancing, cha-cha-chaing, and he's gonna look all fresh and ready for everything. And so stay tuned for tomorrow, guys. Have an amazing, purposeful Monday. If nothing else, remember to be happy that you woke up today. It's a new chance to do something different, to be better. You
Yeah.
got this.
Be kind to yourself. We love you. Bye bye.